Well, Tim, the picks are in, and in the case of Republicans, it's official. After the convention, the Democrats have their nominating convention in just a couple of days here. Let's start on the Republican side. Were you surprised by John James's pick of Jay DeBoyer, and do you think it was the right move?
I was pleasantly surprised. I knew he was talking to a few different people, and they all would have made good choices, but Jay is a bulldog. He's going to be fantastic in that role when he's elected. He's, in the oversight committee chair and has done some good work in Michigan to, root out waste, fraud, and abuse. And I look forward to him doing it. So I was pleasantly surprised that he got that and excited for him, and I'm happy.
When a candidate, for governor, president picks their vice president or lieutenant governor, they're usually trying to kind of complete the ticket. What does DeBoyer bring to the ticket that may not have already had?
Well, yeah, I think Jay brings a level of statewide knowledge of working in the legislature for the years that he has, and being on the chair of committees and so forth. He brings that level of completion to the ticket, where John obviously has tremendous federal knowledge for the last 4 years working in Congress, and also the business acumen and the military experience and all that. Jay brings business experience as well, but he has a firm fundamental understanding of how Michigan politics and policy works. So I think that's going to be a fantastic additive to the ticket.
So Jocelyn Benson, she picked Winnie Brinks. It's kind of an interesting choice, and I want to get your thoughts on if you think it was smart for her campaign, but especially in the light of, we just had that primary on the Democrat side for the U.S. Senate, and there was a choice made between El Sayed and Haley Stevens, and, here is Jocelyn Benson picking Winnie Brinks. And a lot of people are kind of wondering what version, that Brinks is. Is she a little bit more of a moderate like Stevens was? Is she more radical like El Sayed? So do you think that was a smart choice for the Benson campaign?
I think it was a good choice for the conservatives, because I think Winnie will be an easy target to, throw stones at. But I don't think she was a good choice, in my opinion. I don't think she's done hardly anything as the Senate majority leader. They have not done very much work at all in her tenure. And I don't know if she's going to be progressive or she's going to be more moderate. I guess she'll probably be whatever Jocelyn Benson needs her to be to help get some votes from the west side of the state. So I don't think she really adds any value to the ticket. And hopefully it'll be good for our side.
You mentioned the west side of the state. That's my next question. 3 of the 4 are from southeast Michigan, and Brinks is from Grand Rapids. No one really from mid-Michigan, northern Michigan, or the UP. We get complaints from listeners of our station, which covers northern Michigan and the eastern UP, about how the region is forgotten down in Lansing when it comes to spending in particular. Do you think the demographic makeup of the tickets would only give more power to southern Michigan?
I don't necessarily think that's true. I think, again, let's say take Jay DeBoyer, being in the legislature, doing the good work he's done. I think he truly has all of Michigan, as does John James, best interest at heart. It does help, I think, if like Winnie Brinks being from the west side of the state will help probably get some votes from that side. But I don't think they do it, to dismiss the Upper Peninsula or the upper part of the state. There's just more people down here, and there's more people to interact with, and I certainly don't want to dismiss the Upper Peninsula. It's a fantastic part of our state, and I'm glad we have it. And I don't think anybody on these tickets is going to do that, to be honest with you. I don't think it's just going to generically give the lower part of the state more power by the choices that were made.
I've had a couple of people on the show that say the lieutenant governor pick doesn't matter for the electability of the ticket, such as, nobody's voting for or against a candidate because of their choice for lieutenant governor. Do you agree?
In some parts, yeah, I do. I think, the top of the ticket is, the face of it, the name ID. But I do think a good lieutenant governor pick does add value in if they're going to go out and work and generate votes and generate activity and name brand awareness for the ticket. But I think it certainly could be detrimental, right? If you have a really bad candidate that has a bad record on votes they've taken and stuff like that, the other side can certainly use that as ammunition to try to defeat the ticket. So most of the attention obviously is the top of the ticket, but I do think John James picking Jay DeBoyer was fantastic because he is a workhorse. He gets things done. He's got a great reputation across the state on both sides of the aisle. He knows how to make things happen, and he is out there working every day with John. And I don't think you can say the same thing for Winnie. I think she has not the reputation, not the name ID that Jay DeBoyer has, and certainly I don't think she has the work ethic that he does at all.
So now that these two tickets are essentially set up and both have records that can be reviewed, what are the two choices Michigan has, kind of the two different visions for Michigan in your opinion?
Well, you can have more freedoms and opportunities with less government intrusion in your business and your life. You can have lower taxes, more freedoms in healthcare and educational opportunities for your family if you choose John James and Jay DeBoyer. If you want to go down the Jocelyn Benson, Winnie Brinks path, you're going to get basically more socialism. You're going to get more government. You're going to get more government programs. You're going to get less money in your pocket. You're going to get less freedoms and opportunities. And if you go as far as the whole DSA platform that it seems like the whole Democrat Party is trending towards, like Al Sayed, you're going to get Medicare for all, which means your taxes are going to go up. You're not going to be able to pick your doctor. You're not going to be able to pick your hospital. The government's going to do all that for you. So I think the choices couldn't be more clear in all of these races, from Mike Rogers down to John James to the bottom of the ticket. You either want more freedoms and opportunities for you and your family, or you want less. The Democratic side gives you less, makes the government bigger, makes you smaller. And the Republican side of the ticket, the conservative side of the ticket, gives you more freedoms and opportunities. And it's as simple as that. And you can look at track record and see name me one socialism or communism country that's been successful in the history of mankind, and you can't point those out. And I submit that when I see boatloads of people rowing across the ocean to get to Cuba, then I'll believe that capitalism is bad and conservatism is bad. It never goes the opposite way. So our conservative agenda, capitalism, and all those different things, less government is the way to go. So the choice couldn't be more clear.
Tim, where can people go to connect with Americans for Prosperity?
AFPMichigan.com. AFPMichigan.com. You can go and find out all the things that we're doing in the state, both politically and, a policy standpoint. Get involved. We'll help you find your why, what's important to you. We'll give you a voice. We'll give you the education, the empowerment to use your voice to make positive changes in your communities. All free of charge. Everything we do is free to our activists and our volunteers. Which, if you want to be a keyboard warrior and a social media influencer, if you want to testify before committee in Lansing, if you want to be a door canvasser, community builder, we can help you do all of that. And again, free of charge. You tell us what's important to you, and as far as it relates to limited government principles, and we'll help you get involved and help you make a difference in your community. AFPMichigan.com.
We're speaking with Tim Golding, the Michigan State Director for Americans for Prosperity. Tim, thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Nick. Talk soon.